Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Ms. Shivani Narang, who is a seasonal marketeer using data-driven approach and someone who has mastered the digital marketing domain for the last 16 years. She is currently working as a AVP Digital Strategy and Marketing Head at the Higher Pitch with focus on ROI-driven digital solutions by evaluating the current marketing landscape and providing the best digital value-based strategy. She has completed her Bachelors of Engineering in Electrical Domain and done specialization in Integrated Marketing Strategy from IIM Lucknow. She is also pursuing her specialization in digital transformation from a premier B school. She has served for companies like Adobe, Mastech, InfoTrellis, Simplilearn, and MiSmile network. Her achievements speak for themselves. On behalf of V Skills, we welcome you, ma'am, to this interview series and hope you have a good time with us.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. So the first question to you is, what inspired you to pursue a career in marketing?
I think it just so happened that I completed my engineering and I got an opportunity with one of the MNCs in sales. Well, I had a different plan, and then I moved on to get into process excellence. And that's when I discovered about digital marketing. I was coincidentally getting married and moving from Delhi to Chandigarh. And doing my basic research in Chandigarh, I came across one of the first few agencies who were serving the global clients in digital marketing, and that's when I stepped into this stream of work. And luckily, I would say this was just the right mix for me because digital marketing requires a lot of creativity, logical thinking, problem solving ability, and technical skill sets. So I think it was just a right mix for me where I could connect with brands and relate to customers and use my skills to create the demand that they or the experience that they desire.
Okay, that's interesting, ma'am. So, according to your experience, what do you think are the most important skills to build a career in marketing?
I think, like I said, marketing needs ideation and innovation ability of thinking what your customers would need. So the skills that I think people would require to get into this stream is definitely ability to think beyond the traditional method of reaching out to customers. So I would say communication, to be able to relate and articulate your messaging to the customers in the way they need. Innovate ideation. And then I lastly with digital marketing, as I say, because now marketing is all about getting on the digital platforms, your friendliness towards data, to be able to analyze and understand data to derive some patterns out of it and then make decisions accordingly. So I think it's three skills that are very required. You've got to be very close to data for getting into marketing now.
Yes, I agree with that, ma'am. Ma'am, the COVID pandemic, which happened in 2020, so it affected all of us personally and as well as our businesses, our work life, everything. So at that time, what was your strategy to bring sustainability to the business?
I think a lot of organizations got by surprise since the business models were not digital friendly. Or, I'm especially talking about pandemic situation. Business models were not digital friendly. Neither were they digitally adept, and that's when there were new kind of challenges that the organizations came across. Right from demand generation to CRM, sales distribution, order handling, everything became a challenge, and there was a new environment completely being created. There was work from home culture, then forced lockdown, which completely again challenged the organizations. So I think those organizations who had probably moved into that digitization stage were the ones who were able to sustain, while the ones who did not obviously had a shutdown there. So the major challenges that I felt organization faced that time were the people, the employees actually, to be able to retain and engage them, and when I say other side of people are the customers, to be able to serve them in that sort of challenging environment. And how businesses sustained, or what kind of businesses sustained, were those who managed to give that sort of digital experience, because everything went digital. It was a complete lockdown. People couldn't step out. So, that superior experience people could give through digital platforms was one of the essential aspects of sustaining themselves. Then there were a lot of new kind of partnerships that filled in need gaps. For instance, I talk of sports brands. They, engage themselves with software companies to give a new kind of experience to their customers. For example, Nike, um, Zomato. The way it kind of digitized itself completely, the way they partnered with delivery and make things. There was no in-person delivery and contactless delivery happened. So that happened. There were a lot of examples wherein businesses evolved in such a way that they could manage to serve the customers based on the external environment they were in. And over that, there was a good, companies that managed to build a strong relationship with their employees and customers through, transparency and the right kind of relationship. I think these were some of the important steps that businesses took, and that's when they sustained themselves.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that insights, ma'am. Ma'am, in the business world, the term VUCA became popular when significant technological changes were taking place. However, with the pandemic, like we talked about, everything seemed so inefficient. So a new acronym then emerged called BANI. So how should companies be prepared for a BANI world?
I think during pandemic, there was a complete chaos in which way organizations had to function for sustaining themselves. It taught us to live in challenging time and yet show the capacity and resilience to sustain ourselves.
Yes.
I think I would break it in this way that businesses always need to have plan B, no matter how well the plan A is working.
Hmm.
Secondly, seeking a wonderful, seeking a collaborative environment within the organization, be able to give a structured and uh, basically strengthening team, so that they feel important, they feel they've been trained and given the right set of tools to be able to adapt and perform in that changing environment. As per, I would say there's a lot of anxiety, which is another term that has been a part of Bina. We should kill anxiety by being very empathetic and making our people feel important. Even school children were able to manage their studies in such a beautiful way that it kind of killed the anxiety that kids and parents started having.
Yes. Hmm.
And then lastly, I would say, enhance your proactiveness and intuitions by adopting to AI ML based platforms, so that you can serve what your customers need, and you can think in advance and faster than the traditional methods.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, experiential e-commerce is the future for all companies that are selling online. So, what is your opinion about it?
I would completely agree to this, because now it's all about delivering the right superior customer experience to your prospects and customers. A complete shift has happened thanks to pandemic. The way customers are interacting with business, whether it's in B2B or in B2C scenario. We're seeing businesses spending close to 70% of their marketing budget to automate their marketing process, to centralize their all functions so that they can work in a more seamless and automated fashion. You also look at a lot of e-commerce brands. They've integrated augmented reality into this entire environment. They're also doing different kind of contests. They're basically creating engaging environment by creating contests, virtual events, games, online games, etc. Let me give an example of a lot of luxury brands now. For example, Zara again, or H&M, or Louis Vuitton. Some of the luxury brands, the kind of immersive experience they're giving to their customers is when they're basically going very absolutely digital, to an extent that customer doesn't really need to feel a need to step out. of home before buying that particular product or engaging with that brand. So I think now it's very very people and customer experience oriented approach that businesses are following, and there's a huge shift in which businesses are investing to create that experience to their customers.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Taking that thought forward, from the past couple of years, or even more than that, we have seen influencer marketing really taking the rise. So, what kind of
Yeah.
impact does it have in the overall business?
See, now that we're moving ourselves into virtual world with a lot of, with Meta falling in place and so many other things happening virtually, we, if you think like a human, unless you don't touch, feel, or hold a particular product, or do not meet a person for a particular service you want to engage with, there is still a lack of trust and credibility, or trust in that business. That's where you seek the right advice, and that's where you relate to a popular personality or an influencer in that particular industry to give you the right kind of advice. So I think over a period of time, influencer marketing has started to play a very important role, because people are able to relate to that person or to that public figure, and be able to get convinced that if this kind of a person is endorsing a particular product, service, etc., then it's something which is valuable. And basically the entire approach is higher reach and rich content that goes together.
Okay. Ma'am, during your work and during your experience, you must have done so many marketing strategies and campaigns and plans. And obviously, not all of them will work 100% as per the plan. So, how do you
Yeah.
handle when the designed marketing strategies do not perform as per the plan?
I think the beauty of digital marketing and transformation is that it gives you the amount of data and the flexibility to be able to change and adapt to the new style of something that is working and something that is not working, which you can find out through a data analysis. So there are multiple ways to course correct the failing strategy, whether it's about putting the right messaging in place, aligning the messaging as per the target audience, whether you change your designs the way through the landing pages or through the campaigns that you're running. Also, maybe I would say doing A/B testing, which is a wonderful feature in marketing scenario these days. It's something that we didn't see in the traditional method at all. But through digital platforms, yes, you can do A/B testing, whether it's to do with design, whether it's to do with messaging, whether it's to do with the product, whether it's to do with the offers. So product variation, pricing variation, everything can be done in a testing environment, and that's where you can course correct the strategy in a way what worked and what's not worked. So that's the beauty of digital marketing, and that's where strategies fall in place. There's always a room for improvement, a room to make mistake, and then course correct in a timely basis. So let that strategy run for some time, and then course corrections on the tactics can happen simultaneously to get the right role.
Thank you for that, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, how do you stay updated with the latest marketing trends and techniques?
I think this market is, is there's so much to learn. So I think it's very important to stay connected to the outside world. What you do and deliver in your four walls of your workplace, you should go beyond that. So therefore, you should definitely keep upskilling yourself with competitive, certifications by renowned institutes. Be a part of webinars, be a part of summits, make that network in your in that industry, so that you meet the right kind of mentors and people who can learn and support you, because it's all it's a mix of, like I said, creativity and technical skills, so it's both.
Ma'am, we are coming towards the end of this expert interview, so I would like to ask you this thing, that what advice would you like to give the freshers who wish to join this field?
I think the market is very fluid, highly competitive, and completely in demand. So you got to just keep yourself on toes, learn the ropes to get the next leap, the big leap that you're looking for. So do these certifications from renowned places and join podcast by some of the top leaders, and be a part of blogs, webinars, submits, events. So got to be updated on that side. Other than that, you know, shortlist the companies that you aim to work for and stay in touch with, follow them, learn what product solutions they are offering, what are the kind of case studies they're putting, and stay in touch with their colleagues, some of the people who are working, employees or recruiters. Then I would say have a very strong presence on LinkedIn and keep sharing your thought process, engage with other audiences or other people in the same network so that they would know that your interest is in particular area or industry. I would say lastly, stay connected with recruiters outside your network as well, because it's not just about aiming for the company, but it's also sometimes you get a lot of freelancing opportunities which let you perform what you've learned. It lets you perform practically what you've learned. And why don't you do this parallelly while you continue to work or continue to apply for the big leave that you have in mind? But it's important. This industry gives you that facility of working and learning from freelancing or side projects. And then once probably you have the dream work that you have, aim for it, dedicatedly work on it. Absolutely, that's it.
One last question for you. This is my favorite part. What quote do you live by?
I would say keep it very simple. Learn one new thing every day, no matter how young, how old, or how experienced you are. So just learn one new thing every day, and that's because we are in the world where things are so volatile and dynamic. So learning should not.
That's an amazing thought, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us. And I learned a lot from you, and I'm sure even our viewers will be learning a lot from this particular interview. So thank you for being here, ma'am.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.